Hi guys, how are you? I'm hoping you can hear me. It's Leanne from Uplift Coaching. I thought I would do a quick training for you today. So feel free to say hello, to post some questions, which I can try and answer live with you now, or I'll get back to you a bit later if that's all right. I hope the Wi-Fi is good. I've moved it to the gym, so we'll see. Hopefully it's nice and clear for you. So I just thought I'd do this bit of a training for you because it comes up a lot with clients I talk to, and obviously I'm looking for ways to improve someone's diet and their energy, right? So energy is probably number one, because that's the thing that stops us from doing most of the things that we need to do. So if we don't have any energy, we're not going to feel motivated, we're probably not sleeping, we're probably eating the wrong foods, it's not going to give us any energy. So I'm looking for obvious things. When I talk to people, I'm looking for the most obvious things that's going on in their world that's causing havoc, right? So typically that's sugar, it's skipping meals, it's eating the wrong foods, not eating enough nutrients. So even people that are carrying a little bit of extra weight, they're usually undernourished. So the first thing I want to do is improve the amount of nutrients they're getting, right? So up the greens, up the protein, up the good fats, carbs, all of the things that they need to feel healthy and to get energy, right? And typically I'm finding that people are, well, they are either not eating enough food, so they're actually missing a whole day's worth of food. So sorry, it's very odd to see yourself backwards. I think you're on the right side, but you're actually on the wrong side. Yeah, what I'm finding is people are actually not eating enough good foods over the day. So they're actually, some of them, like, you know, really busy, smart ladies are not eating breakfast and not eating lunch, and then they're starving, they're wondering why they're hitting the sugar, right? So they're wondering they've got no energy. So I find that people are undernourished, even if they feel like they're not, even like they feel like they're over, you know, carrying a bit of extra weight, it's because they're not getting enough of the good nutrients, right? So naturally you're not going to have energy if you're eating something that's going to, like sugar, for instance, that's going to make you want more sugar, but it also gives you the energy slumps, the insulin hits that make you fatigued, just an imbalance in general of your system, really, if you're going to continually go for sugar. So I'm not saying don't have it. I'm a big fan of chocolate, but I know that if I have it, be prepared for a really bad sugar slump, right, where I feel low energy. So I can tell when I've had that, right? So that's really important. So today I wanted to talk to you about healthy snacking because it does make a difference. So diet culture in general, people are reducing food. They're not snacking. They're going without food. They're restricting calories. And what that does is make people hungry. It makes people want more sugar because you're looking for the quick fix. Your brain wants energy. It wants a quick fix, right? So that's why I try and wean people off that diet idea or the diet culture where you have to restrict calories. And sure, you have to have a deficit, but that means you're actually maybe burning more calories than you're eating. That doesn't mean eating less food, right? And that's the thing. So people that are trying to restrict and trying to stop eating food, it's only going to make them want more food, but it also slows down your metabolism. So your body isn't designed to hold on to any calories that it needs if you're going to not feed it, right? So it's not going to release the fat cells. In fact, it's going to cause more havoc by not eating. So I've found that women are losing weight by eating regularly over the day. So we're not going without, we're not going hungry, we're not having energy slumps, and we're not having sugar cravings, right? Because we're keeping our blood sugar levels even. And for me, I know there's different ways of doing things, but I'm seeing good results from being sensible, from teaching women to be sensible about how they're eating and to not restrict the amount of food they're giving, or just swap and tweak where it's not helping you. So obviously we can't be perfect all the time. There's no such thing as perfect. So I'll say that right now. But if you're aiming to eat healthy the majority of the time, then you're going to do you're going to get a benefit, right? You're going to see more energy and feel more energy. You're going to feel more motivated to exercise. You're going to possibly sleep well. You might feel like calmer because you've fed your body. You're not stressed and looking for sugar, and you don't have the sugar highs and the lows where you feel like you want to go to sleep in the afternoon, or maybe you're starving by 5 o'clock and you get home and you're raiding the pantry before dinner, right? And then you're still not, you know, you have your dinner and you're still hungry because you just haven't fed yourself over the day, right? So that's what I aim to do when I'm helping someone with their food, is look at their day, go, okay, well, what are we doing? Are we not eating enough food? Are we not eating the right food, kind of foods that are going to give you energy? Are we not burning calories? Are we not speeding your metabolism up? So I'm looking for, you know, ways to improve by tweaking and swapping. So healthy snack guide, I've got that for you. If you'd like that sent to you, I can put that into the group and you can download it, or if you want me to email it to you, let me know. But what that does is remind you, I've got a shopping guide which reminds you of what things that you could possibly eat instead of maybe what you're eating. So feel free to message or put comments as we're talking if you've got questions now on the types of things that you eat for a snack, right? So the best way to get energy is to eat more protein. More protein, that's dairy, eggs, meat, nuts, seeds. Yeah, so what can we add into your day? So what does your day look like? Are you taking snacks to work? So one of the things I talk about is planning. So we plan what you're going to eat for your snacks. We plan that when you go shopping. You've bought your yogurts, you've bought your nuts, you've bought, yeah, like whatever else you want to eat. I mean, I say yogurts and nuts because they're easy. Fruit's easy, bananas, berries, grapes, anything that's going to give you energy. And fruit is a carb, right? So unfortunately, again, along the lines of your ketos and your just diet culture in general, the carbs were frowned upon, the dairy's frowned upon, not in keto, but in general. So if you're restricting those kind of high-fat foods, they keep you full for longer, right? Fruit is fibre, so you'll also not feel hungry because you'll feel full for longer. A banana is a carb, a donut's a carb. You know, like, so eat the bananas, don't eat the donut. So it's about being sensible and planning, right? So if you've planned your week, you've gone shopping, you've got the food in the pantry, in the fridge, the berries and all that sort of stuff. So you've got food to take or to eat. Because if you haven't done that, how can you be prepared, right? You really can't, and you will struggle, and you'll go for the quick fixes, which a banana's a quick fix, but I know that people are, you know, looking for chips or chocolate or muffins or something like that. Now I give recipes for muffins, but that's because they've got fruit in them, and I kind of think you're allowed to have stuff. I don't like saying you can't have things, right? Dark chocolate could be a tweak for normal chocolate. Berries and grapes are obviously a good tweak for lollies and for sugar. Banana, just the obvious stuff, right? Yogurts, yes, yogurts have fruit in them, but you could buy a variety that has less sugar, right? Or you could have natural yogurt, add banana, add a bit of honey, add some topping, usually toppings and things to your natural yogurt in a way to make that a bit more interesting to you, or a bit more sweeter. And even juices, like there's a lot of juices now that you could have that are green, right? So I tend to go for a green juice, even from the deli part, you know, in the juices. So they all usually have spinach and kale and a bit of lemon and a bit of ginger and a bit of different stuff. And sure, they're still they're fresh, supposedly. They're supposed to be better than your processed stuff, but if you don't have time to create your own juices, then for me, I put green powder in my juices as well to get extra greens, extra fibre. And what I've found for my clients is if they're using the greens powder, they're not hungry. So they're having that for an afternoon snack, right? So they're putting that in their smoothie or in their juice. And that means they've got yogurt usually in their smoothie. They've got milk, whether it be almonds or whether it be dairy, whatever you eat or drink. And that makes a huge difference, right? So that fills them up for an afternoon snack or a lunch or a morning tea, and typically even after dinner. So if clients have the green smoothie after dinner, then they're not full. They just feel better. They haven't missed out. They've still got a little bit of sweetness, because I find the greens powder is quite sweet. It's got a lot of different greens that you probably wouldn't normally eat in there. But again, adding fibre, adding good fats, adding just boostering your diet. Boost your diet. I don't know if boostering is boostering a word, I'm not sure, but boosting your diet. So how can we do that? Oats is a good way to boost diet. I've used, you've probably seen the recipes that I've used for the Bircham muesli. A lot of my meal plans have eggs. So eggs, muesli, oats, things that are going to give you protein, that are going to boost your energy as well as keep you full for longer, because protein does that. The reason we put protein with nearly every meal is because it does keep you full for longer. Your metabolism works a lot harder to process that. So therefore, you're going to be full. It's speeding up your metabolism as well. So you just feel better. You have more energy, right? So that's what we're aiming for. Isn't that why we eat? And the other thing is obviously the insulin to regulate your hormones, right? So if we're going to eat over the day, little snacks over the day, and not be afraid to snack and not be afraid to eat more, you're going to have a level system, a hormone. You're resetting your hormones, technically resetting your hormones. So you won't have those big insulin spikes, especially if you're having a lot of bread. I still tell people to have bread, pita bread especially. You can take a wrap for lunch. You can, don't go without, but you can have a better choice. So you can tweak and swap for a better choice. So if you're struggling with that, let me know. Maybe a couple of days of your food, of what it might look like, or maybe you're struggling with breakfast ideas, maybe you're struggling with lunch ideas, or snack ideas in general. But we've talked a bit about snacking, and why we should snack, right? So I'm talking about why we should snack and what that does for you to stop those sugar cravings. So that's what you really want, is that even hormones over the day, so you're not tired, hungry and hangry, and you're not struggling for energy. Typically, if I have a lot of carbs at lunch, I'm quite sleepy in the afternoon, so I don't overload like my lunch, right? I don't do a lot of that for lunch. But, a wrap should be sufficient, or even leftovers, if you've taken leftovers, some veggies or something for lunch. It might be chili con carne with a bit of rice, something that's still going to give you a lot of energy. Stir fries, what else? So it depends. I know that a lot of you work obviously 5 days a week and you need to take leftovers or sandwiches or something that's going to help you. Take some egg, make curried egg, boiled eggs. Just let me know. I suppose I've got to work out where you're at right now, what you're doing right now. And if that's not working, we can tweak that to swap to something else you will eat, right? When it comes to, so that's how you get more energy, and that's how you swap and tweak and create better choices for snacking. So don't go without. There is the question about, I suppose, not eating in the morning. So a lot of people don't eat in the morning, but as long as you're eating something really good by about 11. So if you start early and you're not an early morning kind of girl and you don't like eating before work, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's quite popular and people do quite well on that. It's like fasting, but that means you still have to eat well. So if you've skipped and then you've gone for chocolate and muffins and just shit in general because you're starving and hungry and feeling really crap because you didn't eat, well then don't do that, right? If that doesn't suit your system, don't do that. Make sure, even if you're not, if you go early, make a smoothie before you leave and take it with you. Have it at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, depending on what your life looks like and your work life looks like, right? So just find a way to make it work for you. So yeah, that would be my thing, because even with like your 5-2s or your 18-6, your 16-8 diets, that's like, or not dieting, but fasting, it has some successful elements to it. And that's by eating all your calories in the middle of the, between 11 and 7-ish is the way that works. That works well for people if you don't eat rubbish, right? So if you're going to go without and then you're going to cram it in and still not eat well, you're still going to suffer and be struggling with energy. You're still going to be looking for sugar. You're still going to be hungry, right? So don't do that if that doesn't work for you. Like I said, if you want to have a chat about that, I typically don't recommend dieting or fasting, but there are elements to that that make sense for people and it works for them, and that's great. If that doesn't make you want to eat things you probably don't need to eat, or you're overeating. So there's always, also talking about portion control then, and you're talking about eating food that isn't helping you, right, after dinner, that kind of thing. If you've got some compulsions or some binge eating going on, that's a whole different matter as well. So we've got to look at what's triggering those things, right? So I talk a lot about that in my programs as well, and you've probably seen me talk about those things a lot, right? Because I like to look at the whole picture of what's happening for you, not just, that you're skipping breakfast. Well, why? What's going on, for your whole day? What does it look like? How's your sleep? How's your stress? Because stress is going to make you pour on the weight because of insulin, because of cortisol hormones. So we're trying to reset hormones, right, overall, and be healthy and have a balance. So I want you to be balanced. I want you to feel good and have a balance and be happy with your weight and be happy with yourself, and work on having a healthy weight, maintaining it, right? So it's not just losing it. You could starve yourself and lose it, but it's not sustainable. It won't help you with energy, and you'll just feel rubbish, and you'll go for rubbish at the end of the day because you can't stick to that kind of behavior, right? That's a negative food behavior for my liking. So I definitely don't help people do that. We don't want to starve, right? And I'm seeing people losing weight typically around the kilo a week by eating properly, by eating well, fueling their body, doing a little bit of exercise. We're talking about just resetting hormones and getting you balanced again, sleeping better, drinking more water, all the basic stuff, get you back to basics, right? Because I like to talk about, or like to work out why that's not happening for you. So if you're not doing the basics for yourself, if you're not managing self-care and you're not taking care of yourself, then that's what we need to look at. So that's what I coach. That's what I look at when I coach women, is what is going on for you really? What can we do that's going to help you feel better? And it's not just weight, right? Because I see really big health issues with people. We're talking diabetes, fatty liver, cholesterol, high blood pressure, heart attack. The other day, speaking to women that have had heart attacks at 48. I've had lots of clients like that have had heart attacks before 40 because of hereditary reasons. And also bad habits, right? Just not looking after themselves. They're the kinds of things you go, whoa, okay, your tummy weight isn't probably the biggest problem right now for you. If you're not getting these basic things happening, and the healthy habits, then you're going to struggle with weight. It's simple. So it is important to get this basic stuff right, and healthy snacking is a basic thing for me, like keeping your energy levels up, keeping your insulin levels stable. They're all basic health things that we need to do on a daily basis. Drinking water, moving our body in a way that suits you. Sometimes if you're stressed and crazy hormones are all over the place, menopause or PCOS, for instance, other things, right, that are going on with hormones, then full-on exercise is not what you need. That's not going to help you. So we look at what else can we do that's going to help you balance your hormones in a healthy way, not in a way that causes more havoc, more imbalances, and just general weight gain and stress on the body, right? We're not just talking stress, busy life, down and out, ups and downs and anxiety, that kind of thing. We're talking about, we're talking about stresses on the body. So adrenal fatigue, as we're getting older, hormones with menopause, and so our estrogen levels change, and that's why we get a lot more weight around the tummy. But so I'm just sort of saying that let's start with, I know this is about healthy snacking today, but this is again, this is just a small part of it, what I teach in my courses. And each week we go through a different topic, if you like, and we go through what's going on for you. You get live coaching like this, but you also get one-on-one calls as well, live Q&As like this regularly. So we go through, you know, your basic stuff, your self-care, your energy, your how you're eating food, nurturing with food, not going without, not dieting, not depriving, not restricting, right? So nothing negative. We go through self-talk and mindset work because that's really, really the crux of it. Yeah, so they're the things that we want to talk about is, and that's what we teach in the program for 6 weeks is we go through your mindset, we go through your self-care and your overwhelm. How can we tweak the overwhelm? How can we tweak your food? How can we get you moving more? How can we make that fit in your day? So not necessarily more is less or harder is better, but making it simple and easy so that it fits your life, right? Because we're all busy. We've got, you know, some of us have got, you know, we've obviously got work, we've got kids, we've got businesses, we've got older parents to look after. There's all sorts of stresses going on. Making the meals easy for nighttime, that's really, really important, right? So making the meals so easy that it's a no-brainer. So that's also what we want to do. We want to make your food so easy that anyone could do it. Like my kids can cook it if I have to, right? So a classic example is I tend to work a bit at night lately. So I might only have a little bit of time to make dinner. So I'll have 3 things, 3 ingredients, and like they might be chicken, there might be a stir-fry sauce, and there might be noodles and frozen veggies, frozen stir-fry veggies. So that's one meal I know that even my child can cook. He's 14, right? My 14 and 12-year-old could cook that if they had to. Because you can't, because the other thing, it's not just the healthy snacking, it's also planning your week, planning your meals. What are your meals going to be? Can you plan 2 or 3 meals out so that you already know you've got leftovers for lunch, you've got leftovers for the dinner the next night, or you've at least got a couple of meals that you can whip up in 15 minutes, right? We're talking 15 minutes. I should give you a recipe book for 15-minute meals because that's how easy I need to make it for myself. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, right? Salads, chicken in salads, bit of steak, stir fries, that kind of thing. So all of that is, you know, ridiculously easy, but the key here is upping the nutrients as best we can, right? And as quick as we can. And I do see people who don't have a lot of time, and I get that. But you know what? When you're sick and you're not feeling well, or you've got ups and downs, you've got depression, anxiety, you've got medications, all these things, diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol, that it costs money to be sick, right? So sometimes you're going to have to weigh up the investment of looking after yourself and eating properly, and planning. You know, maybe you do that Saturday, maybe you do that Sunday, you plan out your week. And a lot of the time I'm talking to women that actually are really good at organising, which I'm not, right? I'm not a good organiser. However, I realise that I have to plan that because that I can't wing, you know, I can wing it, but I prefer not to. So I plan the meal. So I guess it's prioritising your health, prioritising the meals, the healthy meals, for kids as well, for yourself, for your family, making life easy, right? It's such an important thing. And if you're not going to prioritise planning your week for your health, or planning your exercise, or planning your meals, then you're going to get, you know, it's going to come back at you somewhere, and it'll be in the health, right? And can you afford to get sick? Can you afford to be spending on doctors and specialists and medications and things like that? Isn't it better to spend on health, right? To invest in yourself, right? So I think that's, yeah, so the healthy snack guide, I'll go back to that because, so that's, you know, my rant on taking care of yourself, right? Because you cannot afford to get sick if you are the leader. If you're the leader in your family, you're leading the meals, you're leading the shopping, you're leading the exercise and the after school activities. You're the leader. So if you are not coping well, you are not eating well, you have no energy, and you are a cranky cow, right? Then you are not helping yourself. You're not helping anybody, right? that's what you want to prevent. You don't want to be, it's a really hard job as it is without feeling shit as well, right? So we don't want to feel crap. We don't want to feel poor about ourselves, poorly in health, low on confidence, low on energy. And we don't want to put ourselves last, because that's when it starts happening. And we get in a bad habit. I don't know about you, but when my kids were little and I was an older mum, I don't think I knew anything about mindset work. I don't think I did any work on self-care. I wasn't a priority. Surviving with 2 young boys was that was a priority. Working was a priority. And I would have done a lot better if someone had said, hey, you're going to cope a lot better if you take your me time, right? If you make that a priority, make eating a priority, make moving your body a priority, right? These things are important, and you will cope better. You'll be a better mum. You will be a better wife. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel happier if I did those things, if you did those things. No one said that to me. I was helping other women, but from a low point of energy, like extreme, I would say, fatigue, probably even almost postnatal depression. Maybe I didn't realise at the time. Because of back then, so what am I now, 52, so my boys I had my first one at 37, second one at 40. Yeah, I don't think I had a couple of wonderful girlfriends that were really supportive, but I didn't know what I know now. So if I can help women now get on top of that stuff, it'll make a world of difference. And I talk to a lot of women now that are my age and older, and they've already done all that, right? It's a hard slog. And it's still a hard slog even when your kids are grown up, right? Because you've still got you're a bit lost. You're trying to find your way back again to your old self. You're trying to maintain your healthy weight, and you've got some hormonal issues going on now, and you've got, metabolism issues going on, possibly anxiety and a few other things that are going on because of life in general. It never ends trying to balance, right? I think that's the key, is trying to find a balance that works for you. No one can tell you that stuff, but you have to just make things a priority that matter most to you. So once you work out what matters most to you, then you can probably work out where you should start, right? So when I'm coaching women, we are talking about what's a priority, what's important, what matters the most to them, and working out a plan around them, not me, not telling you what to do, but what works for you, right? And works for your busy life. What isn't working? What have you done in the past that isn't working? So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So the Healthy Snack Guide, I'll put into the link here, into this page, so you can download it. It's also in the files. So if you go into the group files of this group, and even check through the videos, there's some workouts, there's some more coaching like this if you want to catch up on what I do and how I help. I have a 6-week program that we're rolling out. We pretty much do that every couple of weeks. People just join as they come, as they happily come. It doesn't have a time frame really. And we start working through these things. You do get an online program to go through. You get workouts and meal plans. You get weekly coaching. But the main thing is, yes, we're losing weight in this group, but I've got to say we're finding our old self back again. We're finding our confidence again. We're eating better. We're making our health a priority. And it's really, really powerful. It's powerful to see women back to basics, back to looking after themselves, just feeling good again about themselves and not making themselves a last priority. That's the main thing, yeah. And healthy snacking is just, like I said, one part of it. But if you're hungry, going without food, restricting, dieting, sometimes I'll look at people's food reviews that I do for them. And I do that complimentary, so please let me know if you want me to do a food review. Happy to do that. And I'll look at that and go, wow, you're eating like you're on a diet. Like, where's this food and where's this food? Like, you're going without food groups. That's what we don't want to do. Yeah, we don't want to go without food groups. We don't want to restrict. We don't want to deprive, because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. So even the people that I see people losing weight themselves, and freaking amazing, great. They've done some amazing changes themselves, and they're following a keto diet, or they're following Weight Watchers, or they're following, you know, whatever it is, however they get there, that's up to them, right? That's fine. But there's typically, if you've got to go on something, you've got to get off it, because you can't sustain that, right? So if it is a crazy thing, like I've seen a lot of people go on really strict dieting with nutritionists and dietitians, and it might be for good cause, and that's wonderful, and they got a result, but they also lost a lot of muscle. So they, you know, they pretty much restricted all the protein, or they restricted all the carbs, or they restricted a particular food group that their body's got to take the protein and it's got to take the nutrients from somewhere. So they will lose weight, but typically it might be muscle, not only just fat loss, but then they'll put it back on because they couldn't sustain that strictness. And that's what you don't want, right? You don't want strictness that doesn't fit your life. You don't want strictness in dieting that isn't sustainable, that makes you feel sick. A lot of the time, I also see people, they don't feel well, right? They're getting headaches. They're feeling really low in energy. They couldn't sustain it because it made them feel ill, right? And even people that have done really, really strict dieting afterwards couldn't go back to eating, you know, just standard normal food. So you don't want that either, right? You want things that last, sustainable ways of eating that last. Yeah, so that's what I teach you. If you're interested in having, you know, more help with that, that's what my approach is. It's holistic, it's sensible, it will fit your life. The meal plans that I give people, I give my kids, right? We cook, it's general food, but more veggies, we up the greens, we up the proteins, we just give you more nutrients. That's all you need, right? To get more fiber in your body, more muscle from training. We want muscle because that'll speed up your metabolism as well. So we do need some training. And we're not talking full on, because less is more, right? I think. So I just have it's probably a very soft approach, but I've seen good results from clients. So I'm sticking with my soft approach, because I don't like what I see out in the market. I don't like what I see, what's happening to women in general. I don't see a lot of positive experiences with dieting, and I also see a lot of women that are feeling bad about themselves, right? And that can't be right. That's not good. So whatever you're doing, if it's not working or it hasn't worked in the past, stop. Just stop what you're doing if it's not working for you. If you're feeling shit about it, it can't be right, right? If it's making you feel worse, it cannot be right. It's the same with measuring on the scale, or like I speak to people that are measuring themselves, they're weighing themselves daily. And you go, are you weighing yourself daily? Maybe we don't do that, right? We stop doing that because we want to look at other areas. Let's measure your clothing. Let's measure your waistline. Let's measure your energy levels, measure your sleep, measure your connections, like your joy, measure things that you're doing for yourself, your self-care. Let's look at the whole picture, and then people lose weight because they're doing all these other things that's happening, and the focus isn't any longer on their tummy weight. Their focus is on their healthy habits and how they're feeling. So to give you an example too, this is a good example. So because of the way some people have been trained in the diet culture, I'll call it diet world, right? So they weren't eating fruit, or they want to know down to the letter what is the best snack to have, or what is the best thing I could eat, right? Should I have an apple? Should I have an orange? No, you have fruit. What do I put in the fruit bowl? Fruit. There is no perfect answer to what I should have. So dips, what sort of dip? It doesn't matter. We're just moving away from sugar, right? So buy hummus, buy tzatziki, buy beetroot, buy feta, make your own. It doesn't matter what you have. We're just weaning you off the processed food, the sugars, the packaged stuff. Let's just go for something else to swap, right? To swap your snack. Swap it to cheese, swap it to eggs, swap it to dips and bickies, swap it to green smoothies, swap it to something, right? But this is the thing, like there isn't a perfect answer And this is what people are trained to think, that there is a right way or a wrong way or a perfect thing that they can eat that's going to make them lose weight. So this is what this is what you're up against in this sort of diet world, is that the idea that it's a head fuck. I'll say that just messes with your brain. That messes with your head, right? If it's so down to the detailed letter of what I must eat to lose weight or it won't work, that is negative and wrong. That is, I just want you to stop that idea if that's what you've been doing in the past. And we have been trained to think like that, right? Conditioned. And that's what I want to rewire in your brain, that it doesn't matter. There's not, what if you took away all the rules and there wasn't a right way or a wrong way to eat, right? If you're eating fresh, we don't have to count calories. If you're eating lettuce and veggies and salads and like the Mediterranean style diet, capsicum and tomatoes and really good foods, why count calories? Don't fill your head in trying to find out the best way or the only way to eat, right? There isn't an only way, there isn't a right or wrong, and there's no perfect. So I reckon that's what I'll finish up on now. I know I go on a lot about different things, but I really love this message and I want this message to get out there, and I want people to stop dieting and worrying about the right thing to eat or the wrong thing to eat, right? And that's, again, not going without, don't go without stuff. If you're eating a balanced diet and you're eating relatively well and you're feeling great and you're looking, you know, better in the skin and you're looking better in your body and you're happy when you look in the mirror, it doesn't matter if you have an ice cream. If you're eating well 70% of the time, that's balanced, right? If you want chocolate, that's great, unless you're sitting down to a tub of ice cream or a 250-gram block of chocolate because you're feeling really shit and you're binge eating because of a stressful day, or you're drinking a bottle of wine over a week, a couple of glasses of wine with dinner even. I usually, you know, that's another thing we want to steer away from. If that's triggered by stress, tiredness, negative thinking, then that's not okay, right? That obviously there's a problem there. If it's just wanting an ice cream or chocolate because I feel friggin' amazing, I'm eating really well, I'm 70% on the money, I'm exercising now a couple of days a week, I'm feeling really great, I've got energy, I'm sleeping better, I'm feeling so much happier than I was before, and I'm not picking on myself. And when I look in the mirror, I don't see what I saw last week or I saw a month ago. And it's all your perception too, right? So be aware that this is a perception. When you look at family photos, when you look at, like I've had people that done that they hated their family photo. But then after we changed their mindset a little bit and worked on their perception of themselves, they look back probably, what would have been after 6 weeks, after a 6-week program. And she doesn't mind that photo now because she wasn't looking at herself in the right way. She was actually picking on herself and looking at the negatives, not, So those problems go away, the objections go away, the resistance goes away when you're no longer looking at just your weight, right? So when we go through this process, we're changing your mind. We're doing mindset shifts that you probably can't do alone unless someone's pointed them out to you and helped you with them, right? You probably know what's going on. You're all smart women. You know what's happening. You know what isn't working for you. You probably know that you might be doing a little bit of negative mindset work on yourself, self-talk that's putting you down, picking on your weight. You're hating yourself in the mirror. You're hating your stomach. You're hating your ass. You're hating whatever it is that you're hating on. When you start feeling better about yourself and you're actually looking after yourself, the weight gets better, but so does that attitude towards yourself, yeah? And that's important. I think that's probably the biggest thing that happens in this whole training, in this whole thing that I help women with, yeah? It's so important to change that attitude towards yourself. And then it also stops other people from doing it to you because you are no longer putting up with that anymore. So it makes you stronger and more confident. And I think that's important too, that you are setting new boundaries for yourself, you're setting new boundaries for other people to show them that you are worthy and you are no longer putting up with being treated in a way that doesn't make you feel good. Yeah, that's what I would prefer to see. So, although we did talk about healthy snacking, so if you come on the end, the first probably half of this was all about the food, and the second part was probably more about the mindset work. But I think the mindset work changes everything. So that's why I always include some sort of mindset training as well. So if you'd like to do, like I said, a free consult, a food review, you want to join the 6-week program, whatever it takes to help you, let me know. If you've got some questions about today or questions about what you're eating, and if you're thinking that you may be eating it in a way that it isn't helping you, then let's tweak that. Let's get more good fats into you, get more protein, more carbs, healthy carbs, right? There's ways of swapping and tweaking, swapping. And that's the other thing, if you're stuck on something, so for instance, I've got clients that are stuck on soft drink, so we tweak that with soda water and a bit of lemon juice or a bit of apple juice or something to give them that fizzy sweetness. If you're not drinking water in general, let's look at how we can tweak it to get the water in, right? So water will also keep you full over the day, give you more energy, less brain fog, right? So we need water for just feeling better and hydrated and clearer in the mind, yeah? So if that's a problem as well, let's talk about water. Let's talk about whatever's bothering you that's not working for you. And like I can guarantee that whatever you've been doing before, if it hasn't worked, it's been the wrong approach, right? I can guarantee it because I see it all the time. I talk to women that have been doing things that are not working, that funnily enough, they still want to go back to it. And I sort of have to point out, well, obviously that didn't work because here we are. Right, here we are in the same position we're in now. Whatever you did before, and it's okay to do some of it, but it didn't work. So what will work for you? Let's talk about what's going to work for you now. Things have changed. You've got a different lifestyle now. You've got family. You've got hormones going on. You're a bit older. You're sitting at a desk all day. You're not exercising. You're not sleeping well. Let's work on those things. That's what we do together, right? So if you want more help, let me know. If you've got questions or you like this, pop some comments, hit some love hearts, whatever you want to do to tell me that it was helpful, that it's not, it's not making you more confused or making it more difficult for you. I would like to hear that I've done a good job for you and it's worth it and it was helpful. Let me know what you think of that training, and I'll keep doing different trainings. And if you've got any topics that are bothering you, depending on the feedback I get, I'll do some more trainings on different topics, right? It might be that you want want me to do a workout for you, so we do a workout together live. I might start doing a bit of that as well if that is something that would interest you. So let me know what interests you, let me know what you're struggling with, and see where I can help, yeah, because I love helping. All right, I'll see you later, guys, and if you want to talk to me about the program, November's here. Before Christmas, you'll have lost 3 to 5 kilo on that, guaranteed, and you can have your money back if it's not guaranteed. Like if it doesn't work for you, which I know it will work because I do it for other people. Last Christmas I had a client probably about the same time, so we went over the Christmas period. She lost 4 kilo over the Christmas period, and that was still going out, having some drinks here and there, having some nibblies, choosing better at the family functions, choosing better at the restaurants. Wasn't going without anything, not being hungry. She just got motivated. She started exercising. She went back to the gym. She followed the meal plans. She just changed her whole attitude, right, towards being more balanced and still enjoying herself, but not going without, but also being sensible about it and not overeating and not, binge eating and all that kind of stuff. So we changed a lot of, changed her daily habits as well, morning routines, got more structure in her day. I will finish up, but what I will say is a lot of the time we need structure, we need a routine to follow, and I find that helps women a lot too. So we do talk about morning routines and habits in the program as well, because without the structure of the day or the starting the day off well, sometimes we're just a bit scattered, right? We all know what that's like. We're all just responding, reactive. We're not in control of our day. We start behind on the 8 ball, and it always feels like that for some reason. But if you start putting in some things that give you that edge, right? Start you on the right foot. Start you in control of your day. giving you the time to plan your day, to think about your clarity and all those sorts of things, and giving you structure on your day, that is a game changer in itself. Right? That is enough to make, maybe I'll do a training on morning routines or something like that. That is a game changer, right? So it makes a big difference. Journaling, depends what's going on for you, but there's lots of ways to get back in control of your day. And that gives you control of your food, it gives you control of everything you're doing, and you lead your family and yourself in a better way. So, like I said, anything you want from me, let me know what it is, and I'll be in touch. I'll just have a look in the files. No, I'll redo it on this post. I'll send you the easy snack. What is it? It's an easy snack guide or a healthy snack guide with some recipes for smoothies, ideas for snacking, and also have the healthy shopping guide in it too, to remind you to go and be prepared, right? Go shopping next time, put some of these on your list, including frozen veggies, frozen berries, frozen fruits. You can buy the tropical mixes, the green mixes from Coles, so they're for your smoothies. Yeah, it's so easy to be healthy, right? It really is. So let me make it easy for you. If you want some help, let me know, and have a look at the guide and tell me where it's helpful, where it helps you, right? All right, guys, that was a really long training. I'm sorry about how long it's been, but thank you for jumping on, and let me know if I can help. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye.